Well, hey there, history buffs, and welcome back to History X, Y, and Z, and I'm Dave.
And I'm Buff Lane, welcoming you back to Touring History X, Y, and Z, where we prove that the past hits different depending on whether you experienced political scandals through Watergate, Clinton, or TikTok.
Yes, but before we dive into July 11th's greatest hits, let's talk about Hi-Ho Cheeseburgers, shall we?
Yummy!
While politicians have been making empty promises for centuries, Hi-Ho delivers on theirs. 100% grass-fed Wagyu from New Zealand's First Light Farms, sustainably raised and antibiotic-free.
It's beef you can actually trust, which feels revolutionary these days. Visit hiho.la and taste integrity.
Yes, something we don't have, right? So, July 11th, Lane, what really strikes me about this date is how it's all about duels political, cultural, and literal.
And birthdays. We
Oh,
always talk about our birthdays first, and today we're sharing the day with Tom Hanks at 69, America's
wow.
most trusted man.
Yeah, and artist David Hockney at 88. Courtney Love at 61, Jack White at 50, Fred Savage, or Savage, at 49, and Steven Universe creator Rebecca Sugar at 38. So,
Those are some interesting birthdays, aren't they, Dave?
aren't they? But what I really want to talk about are duels, Lane.
Ah,
And
yes. Back to your duels. A good
yes,
one.
Dueling Dave, July 11th, 1804. Aaron Burr fatally shoots Alexander Hamilton in their infamous duel in Weehawken, New Jersey.
Yeah, because anything's legal in New Jersey. Wait,
Especially in
you're building to
Weehawken.
something, I could tell. About Gen X and maybe political violence? Hmm?
Yes, Gen X watched American political discourse go from, "We'll settle this like gentlemen. I fought in your general direction," to, "We'll destroy your entire reputation on cable news." Ha ha, take that. You learned early that political conflict was personal and permanent. Later on, though,
Uh,
without the bullets.
yeah, that's brilliant. The Hamilton Burr duel was literally the last time American politicians tried to solve their differences with honor codes instead of character assassination.
Yeah, honor codes and weaponry. Right. Gen X grew up during the era of political scorched earth, Bork hearings, Iran Contra, Clinton impeachment. You learned that in modern politics, everyone shoots to kill, but nobody dies cleanly.
Yeah, we're the generation that understands that political duels still happen. They just last for decades now and involve entire media ecosystems instead of pistols.
Boy, they sure do go on. July 11th, 1960, though, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird is published, becoming the defining American novel about racism and moral courage. Go, Boo Radley!
Yeah, and this hits millennials in this very specific way. You're the generation that was taught this book as the gold standard of racial understanding, then had to unlearn that approach as adults.
Oh, wow, that's complicated. How so, Lane?
Well, millennials read Mockingbird in school thinking it was the manual for being a good white ally, then grew up to realize that maybe centering white savior narratives wasn't actually the solution to racism.
Oh, fascinating. So millennials had to do this whole recalibration from be like Atticus Finch to actually listen to black voices about their own experiences, huh?
Exactly. It's this perfect example of how millennials approach institutional knowledge. Respect the intention, question the execution, find better ways forward.
We learned the book's lessons about standing up for what's right, but then had to figure out what right, quote unquote, actually looks like when you center the voices of people who were marginalized in the original story.
Speaking of evolving standards, Hi Ho Cheeseburgers didn't just meet the old requirements for good beef, they set new ones entirely. Certified humane, GMO free, and higher in those heart healthy omega 3s.
Ooh, gotta love those heart healthy omega 3s. It's like they read the room on what consumers actually want and delivered instead of just doing things the way they always been done. Revolutionary concept. Check them out at hiho.la.
And moving on
Well, here we
to
are at LBJ's Daisy ad. Ooh, it only ran once, but boy, did it have power. July 11th, 1964. Lyndon Johnson's Daisy political ad airs, forever changing campaign advertising with its apocalyptic imagery.
Yeah, I can see your wheels turning again, Dave. This is probably what, Gen Z and political messaging, right?
Yes, you know my wheels, Lane. Gen Z looks at the Daisy ad and immediately recognizes it as emotional manipulation designed to short circuit rational debate, and they're completely immune to it.
Yeah, because they grew up with social media where every political message is trying to trigger an emotional response.
Exactly. The Daisy ad was revolutionary in 1964 because it bypassed policy discussion for pure fear. But Gen Z has been dealing with algorithmic fear mongering their entire lives.
This makes me think maybe at the end of this we want to include a link to the Daisy ad since Gen Z wasn't around in 1964 to see it.
Right.
So we can give you that
Yeah.
to refer to.
Basically, this little girl's saying she's holding a daisy and she's plucking the petals, and all of a sudden it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just a bright light shows. And that was
Oh,
all. That was the whole
a nu-
ad.
was that a nuclear bomb?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. All
Yeah.
right. So Gen Z's developed these incredible defenses against emotional manipulation in political messaging, like you just gave us, Dave. They're
Yeah.
like, show me the actual policy positions, not the scary music.
Right, right, right. Where older generations might get swept up in the emotional appeal. Gen Z immediately starts fact checking and asking for primary sources. They've been media literate since elementary school.
It's like they're immune to the political advertising techniques that have worked for 60 years because they've been exposed to more sophisticated manipulation online and learned to recognize it.
I see right through it. So,
Yeah. So July 11th shows us this evolution of American conflict resolution.
from literal duels to literary influence to psychological warfare, with each generation developing better defenses against manipulation. Damn it.
Gen, yeah, Gen X learned that political fights never really end. Millennials discovered that good intentions require constant updates, and Gen Z built immunity into emotional manipulation.
Thanks to Hi Ho Cheeseburgers at hiho.la for providing consistently excellent beef, while everything else keeps evolving around us.
If you enjoyed our journey through 7-Eleven, did you grab some Snickers and ices along the way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like and subscribe, please, and send us a voice memo about your favorite historical moment. Says so, our animatronic answer machine is just dying to bring your story to life for all of
And
us.
send you a free t shirt. So, until next time, this has been Touring History X, Y, and Z.
Where duels evolve, but quality beef remains timeless, and Dave is printing t shirts.
Oh, that's right, says so.
All right, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.